The movie begins with some rats stealing a biscuit on a pirate ship. They roll the biscuit and get attacked by a cat that tries to eat them. The rats escape, and a sleeping pirate gets woken up as the cat runs on him. He kicks the cat away, and as he nags, he sees smoke coming from an island and realizes it's a signal fire requesting help. The ship's captain sees a man on the island and instructs his men to get him. The pirates arrive at the island and find Robinson Crusoe hanging on a rope. They search for his valuable belongings and take him to their ship. Crusoe talks to the captain, and his pet parrot named Tuesday flies into the room. The captain tells Crusoe to narrate his time on the island, and Crusoe places Tuesday outside while he talks to him. Tuesday sees the rats and decides to tell them Crusoe's story, not the doctored story he is telling the captain. Tuesday, who the other animals call Mac, finds a strange object and examines it in a tree. Kiki asks Mac to join them as they gather food and asks him what food he's bringing. Mac cleans the strange object and realizes it's beautiful. He shows the others and says it proves there's a world beyond their island. Scrubby tries to eat the ring, but Mac stops him. Carmelo, a chameleon, tells Mac there's nothing beyond the ocean, and the other animals support him. Meanwhile, Crusoe stands on a ship and throws up because he is seasick. The sailors laugh and scare him by telling him about strange islands with cannibals. Two cats named May and Mal hide in a crate, and she instructs Mal to steal food for her. He goes to the chickens but gets caught by Ainsley, Crusoe's dog. Crusoe and Ainsley throw the cats below deck, and the cats plan their revenge. Later, a storm begins, and the animals on the island decide to make their way to a cave. A sailor instructs Crusoe to stay below deck till the storm ends. Crusoe goes below deck but gets stuck as a wooden rod falls and blocks the entrance. The animals walk on the cliffside, and Scrubby, a goat, falls and hangs on a branch. Carmelo tries saving him, but they fall, and Scrubby's horn gets stuck on another branch. Crusoe screams for help as he is below deck, but no one hears him. He bumps into the cats, and they knock him out. Pango and Mac try to save Scrubby and Carmelo but get stuck with them. The rope swings, and they are thrown into a cave and away from harm. The sailors on the ship board an escape boat, accidentally leaving Crusoe behind. The animals on the island sleep in the cave and are woken by the sound of a strange object. The rain blocks their view, and they decide to wait till morning to find out what it is. Mac goes through the debris the following morning, and Scrubby finds a strange lamp. The fog clears, and the animals see the shipwrecked ship. Mac sees it and is excited because he knows it's proof of the world outside the island. He flies around the ship, and as he lands, he sees Crusoe emerge with Ainsley and assumes they are sea monsters. The animals on the island hear Ainsley bark, and they hide. Crusoe gets on the land, and the animals are surprised because they think he is a sea monster. Carmelo attacks Ainsley and camouflages to hide. Kiki and the others make loud noises, and Crusoe and Ainsley think they are cannibals and run away. Mac meets them and says they aren't monsters. He suggests they watch them from afar and not go on the beach. That night, Scrubby smells something nice and decides to check what it is. Kiki and the others try to stop him but wonder where Mac is. Crusoe sits with Ainsley and is startled by Scrubby. They realize that there aren't cannibals on the island. Mac returns to the others, and AP says that the object he found is what is attracting Crusoe. Kiki and the others instruct Mac to return it to Crusoe, but Mac says they must accompany him. Crusoe walks around the beach the following day and salvages supplies. Mac and the others watch and realize Crusoe isn't leaving the island anytime soon. Mal and May watch the animals as they conspire on how to eat them. Crusoe enters the captain's room and finds some guns. He takes them to the beach, and as he practices his shooting, the noise from the gun frightens the animals. Mac decides to find out if Crusoe and Ainsley are dangerous and tells the others to stay out of sight. Crusoe finishes practicing and decides to hunt for food. He enters the woods and sees Rosie. Rosie sees as Crusoe wants to shoot her, but he hesitates and chases her away. They decide to go fishing, and the cats attack and apprehend Mac as he flies around. Ainsley arrives and fights the cats as Crusoe scares them away with his gun. Mac's wing gets dislocated during the struggle, and Crusoe takes him to his ship. He finds the pretty object, a ring, and assumes that sailors have been to the island. Rosie takes the others to the fight scene, and they see Mac's feathers. Mal and May emerge and lie that they are Crusoe's prisoners. They ask for Mac, and May says Crusoe killed him because he loves eating birds. Crusoe arrives on the ship and fixes Mac's wing. He decides to give Mac a name and calls him Tuesday. He asks Ainsley to stay with Mac as he unpacks more items from the ship. Carmelo talks to the animals and the cats. He suggests they force Crusoe and Ainsley to stay on Curse Island, an isolated island full of bugs. Mac panics, and Ainsley calms him down. He says Crusoe likes him and talks about his desire to explore the world. Mal places mud and leaves on the animals. May says that she and Mal will deal with Ainsley while the others attack Crusoe. The cats make their way to the ship and watch as Mac talks to Ainsley. The animals see Mac's feather on Crusoe's hat, which provokes them. They rush and attack him while the cats enter the ship and attack Mac. Ainsley helps him, and a fight ensues. A lit candle falls on some paper, and it starts a fire. The cats push Ainsley to the ground, and a door falls on him and traps him. Crusoe and the animals see the fire from the ship, and as Ainsley instructs Mac to leave, the fire touches some gunpowder, and the explosion pushes Mac out and kills Ainsley. The cats escape the ship but are trapped on Curse Island. Crusoe makes a grave for Ainsley, and Mac walks to him. Kiki watches as Mac moves with Crusoe, and she talks to him. He tells her he doesn't want to leave Crusoe and narrates how the cats caused their current situation and how Ainsley sacrificed himself to save his life. Kiki returns to the others and tells them what happened. The animals feel bad for attacking Crusoe and decide to go to him. Rosie leads the others as they carry fruits to Crusoe. Mac stops him from shooting them, and he realizes that they are giving him food. He rushes to get some biscuits, but the animals get startled and run away. Crusoe wakes up the following morning, and Mac takes him to a pond of fresh water. He takes him to the other animals, and Crusoe gives them the biscuits. Kiki refuses to take the biscuit, and she flies away. Mal tries to swim to the island, but the current is too strong. He returns to May, who is pregnant. Scrubby bumps into objects, and Crusoe realizes he has bad eyes. He gives Scrubby a pair of glasses that help him see better. He tries constructing a shed but the wood falls. He sees a tree on the island and realizes he has to build a tree house. He climbs the tree with a saw, and the animals wonder what he is doing. On Curse Island, May gives birth to her first litter, and they realize they have too many mouths to feed. Crusoe continues his construction but gets interrupted by the animals. Mac realizes he is building a nest, and the animals decide to help him. The animals help Crusoe with the construction and have fun, even with some commotion. Crusoe places seeds in the ground while the animals bury and water them. Time passes, and Crusoe finishes the house. He breaks a vase that's full of fireflies and welcomes the animals. He then plays the bagpipe, but the animals, except Scrubby, dislike it. Later, Crusoe constructs a mechanism that brings fresh water into his house, and the animals don't hunt for food. Kiki enters with her fish, and Rosie says Crusoe will put her fishing skills to shame. Crusoe builds a tower on the highest point of the island and lights a fire at the top every night. Mac realizes he is sad and misses his old home. Kiki flies to the top, and Mac tells her that Crusoe lights the fire to signal any humans passing by. She puts out the lights as Mac flies away and says more humans shouldn't come to the island. Crusoe and the others sit in the tree house as it rains, preparing to eat. Kiki enters the house and argues with Mac. She tells him they belong in the wild and asks what will happen when Crusoe leaves the island. Mac is unable to answer, and Kiki flies out of the house. Mal searches for food and finds a fish skeleton. He tries to keep it for himself, but the young cats, who are now bigger, see him. May gets angry, and as she strangles him, she sees that the ship is breaking down and the wood forms a trail to the island. The cats reach the ship after the rain stops falling and apprehend Kiki. Mac sees what is happening and decides to help her. He talks using Crusoe's voice, and the cats get scared. He throws a rock at Mal, and he releases Kiki. Mac and Kiki fly to the island and realize that the cats are on their way to the others. They rush to warn the others, but the cats reach them. Crusoe sees the cats and rushes to get his gun. The cats enter the house and push him down while Mac tries to help him. Crusoe falls out the window and hands as he screams for help. The cats destroy most of the constructions as they pursue the animals. Crusoe climbs back into the house, but Rosie and the others knock him out as they rush inside. Mac lowers a rope with wood, and Crusoe uses it safely to get to the ground. Some cats fall off the water slide as they pursue AP and Pango. Carmelo uses a leaf as a parachute while the cat pursuing him falls and hits another cat. AP and Pango move up a rope in a bucket as a cat chases them. They get to the top, and the cats push Pango off. AP gets attacked, but Mac saves her, and they fall into a cave and slide inside it. Crusoe tries to enter the tree house, but Rosie thinks he is a cat and shuts the door. Mac flies inside and informs them that they pushed Crusoe out. They see that he is out cold and makes a plan to push the cats away. The cats force their way inside, and Mac shoots the gun. The bullet touches gunpowder and explodes, chasing the cats away. Mac talks to the others and says he has a plan to get rid of the cats. That night, he stays in the tree house alone and makes the cats chase him. May sees Crusoe out cold and starts a fire to kill him. The cats follow Mac to the tower and pursue him. He tries getting to the top, but his tail gets stuck on the door, and the cats hold him. Rosie hits the tower, and Kiki makes the cat stop holding Mac's tail. The tower falls into the ocean, and the cats stay on it as it floats away. Mac realizes that the tree house is on fire. He rushes and gives Crusoe a hook with a rope attached to it. Crusoe falls, and as the rope stops him from hitting the ground, a piece of wood knocks him out. Mac talks to the rats, and they inform him that the sailors are pirates. Crusoe talks to the pirates, and the captain forces him to work for them. Crusoe tries escaping with a boat, and a pirate catches him. The pirates chase him around, but he gets off the ship. Mac uses the captain's voice to trick the pirates but flies away as the captain tries to grab him. Mac saves the rats from the cats that made their way onto the ship. He flies to Crusoe, and they return to the other animals on the island. The end. Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos and make sure to subscribe and tap the bell to be notified about our latest videos. See you next time.